All right, there we are. What up? What up? What up? I feel like this should be a theme song for the show.
It's great. I can see you on YouTube.
We're trying something new today.
You're live on Facebook and
So,
you're live everywhere.
Twitter. So right now we are live. How you doing, Vicky? Happy Thursday, so brother. Hope the day is abundant. It has been. Hey, strong and redeemed. How you doing? If you want to see the full show, please join me on YouTube or Twitter or
Facebook.
Instagram's getting a little small feed, but everybody on YouTube, what's up? Everybody on Twitter, what's up? What up? Let's say, how you doing, bro? Zenith, how you doing?
Shout out to 30 Tigers on Twitter.
Shout out to 30 Tigers. Were they in the building?
Yeah.
How you doing, Fern? What up? If you're on YouTube, please say hi. Let me know you're out there. If you're on Instagram, let me know you're out there. If you're on Facebook, say what up. If you're on Twitter, say what up. We got a very, very special, provocative episode. Of me, myself, and I today. I want to make sure we are making sure everything's all right. Yep. K King Zag, what up? How you doing? How you doing, D? What up? Let's show the comments. What up? All right. What do you want to love? Please, we're trying to build up Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. So if you're able to join me on YouTube, please join me on YouTube. But we're going to start streaming this across all platforms. But my preferred destination for y'all is YouTube, right? So if you can, sign into YouTube. Let me fix my chair a little bit. Oh, wrong way. This is the way. All right, what up? Let me make sure the music doesn't keep going. I was too slow. What up, what up, what up, good people? It's I here. How you doing? I know haven't been on it. How you doing, Garrett? What up? So Garrett is a leader. Be like Garrett. Garrett said, I left Instagram and came to YouTube. This is going to be a good episode. I got a lot to share with you, including some music. I don't think we're in tune, but I'll tune in. It's not bad. So, I got so much to share with you. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys. If you're on YouTube, if you migrated from Instagram to YouTube, please say hello. Please say what's up. Say what up, what up, what up, and let me know you're there. And I don't mind you guys watching on Instagram, but I want to make sure you guys see the full thing. It's going to sound better on YouTube. It's going to feel better on YouTube because we put more plugs in. So that's all you get. You get more plugs, better sound, right? All right, let's see who's out there. Allison, how you doing? That's not my sister. I have a sister named Allison, and her name is Allison Yellowney. Beautiful name. They call me Blackney. How you doing? I'm joking. Okay, so what up, Taylor? Hey, Taylor, what's from Surefire? How you doing? So I got to get into this. I have a very strong episode today, And the episode I titled it, I was gonna call it "Follow the North Star," but I just felt like it wasn't clickbaity enough. So I wanted a more clickbaity title, and the title that I came up with was "I Got Turned Away at the Border." Is that what we resolved it to?
Yes.
I got turned away at the border, and I'm gonna tell you a fantastic story of why and how I got turned away at the border. I believe I'm one of the few people on this planet who have gotten turned away at the US Canada border twice in less than 2 hours. And I'm going to explain what happened and what I learned from it happening and how it connects to my new album Prospect, which will be coming. Thank you, Horton, for tuning in. Okay, so let me get this out the way. I got to do this. Wesley Horton, I appreciate you coming from Minnesota on YouTube. Yo, join me on YouTube. It's not that I don't want you to watch on Instagram. If that's the only way you could watch it, that's great. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, join me on YouTube because we're trying to build this, and I'm trying to find a way to get this number to at least 100 people. Right? We're really in the tens right now. So we got to get it up there, but we will. I know we will, and I'm going to keep doing it. But it's just a matter of getting my audience from across platforms to say, "Hey, he's on YouTube every Thursday." And if you're on this, the best way to get this to grow is to make sure you comment on it, say something to me. Is to make sure you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. We are real people who control the algorithms. They want us to believe that the algorithms control us, but that's not how it works in life. We control the algorithms, and the algorithms respond to our reactions. So if you give it a thumbs up, if you like it, if you comment on it, if you subscribe and hit the bell button, it helps the algorithm to know that there are real people here that want to watch this, and then it shares it to more real people who want to watch it. So don't ever let the algorithm make you think that it controls you. You control the algorithm. You got it? You control the algorithm. That's the nature of the matrix. That's the nature of the world. You control the algorithm. Anyhow, too deep. Let's get into why I got turned away at the border. I was on my way to Nashville, Tennessee. We had an Airbnb, a full house that I was going to bring my wife and children all the way to Nashville and do that trek. How you doing, Hussein? How you doing, Marissa? Always great to talk to you guys. Fern. All right, I'm going to share some comments. Thanks for steering me to YouTube. Thank you for coming to YouTube. So this is what it is. Right? We were going to go to Nashville for Americana Fest, which is a music conference for music industry folks and musicians who showcase themselves to music industry folks. I'm like, we are going as a family. We're going to get an Airbnb and make it an adventure. Thank you guys all for tuning in. You guys are beautiful. And the weeks following up to it, I was like, you know what? I told my wife, I think you guys should stay home. I don't want to bring you guys to Nashville with me. It's crazy times. Nashville's very polarizing. I made up a word in an interview the other day, and the interview probably thought it was what was it? Polarizing. It's not a word, but it's kind of means polarizing, right? And they will come. Thank you for it. Absolutely. So if you're watching me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, please join me on YouTube. It's not that I don't want you to be on those platforms, but I have a very strong, I have about 4,000, almost reaching up to 4,500 followers on Instagram, which is okay, which is not amazing, but on YouTube, sorry. I don't want to grow those to 10,000 to 100,000. It just takes baby steps, but we're going to do it together. Hey, Erica. Hey, Jackie. How you guys doing? I miss you guys all. I haven't seen and spoke to you guys in a bit because it's been a busy time. I'm seeing names that I have not seen in a long time. Ricard, how you doing? I'm pretty sure Ricard is living in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you are. I try to remember all you guys, which is crazy because my brain is like about to explode with all my supporters. I do remember you by screen name and sometimes by your avatar. My favorite artist, After Work Deluxe. I appreciate that. Everybody's switching over. Okay, so we're good. So let me get back to the story. So we're going to Nashville. I tell my wife, hey, let's save the money. You stay home with the children. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go just by myself. I'm gonna drive across the border by myself, just because I don't know. I feel weird about it. And we reach out to my producer, Paul Mayberry, beautiful guy, and say, hey, Paul. I would love to stay with you. And he was more than gracious to say, yes, you can stay with me. His wife was extremely gracious, said, anytime, you are one of the easiest house guests ever. I'm just responding to some people on Sweden. I wasn't too far, but I knew it wasn't America. I could tell by the spelling, and I remember that you weren't American, which is not a good enough response. Anyhow, so what ended up happening was I'm driving to the border. It's about a 3-hour drive just to, sorry, that light is probably shining in your eyes. I'll get rid of it. I'm trying new stuff to see if I can do some production stuff, but I might move that light. I'm not really a fan of it. And they asked me if I need no, they said, are you traveling in on a B1 visa, right? And what was supposed to happen, that's Ashna, my wife, is commenting. What they're supposed to do is, all right, let me focus and tell this story. What they're supposed to do is give me a B1 visa on entry because I'm going for work purposes. It's non-paid work. I'm going to a conference to showcase my craft to music industry professionals and to connect with industry professionals. So I'm supposed to be able to travel over the border as what they would consider work purposes, which is now considered essential. At the beginning of the pandemic, it was questionable whether music travel was essential, but now it's considered essential. And what they're supposed to do is let me travel freely to do this work as a non-paid B1 traveler. He denied me that B1 traveling status, and I think, I'll be honest, I was a little underprepared. Usually when I go to the border, I'm ready for these guys. I have all the answers, and I haven't traveled since last August. So I was a little rusty. Hey, Seek the Carrot, how you doing? I was a little rusty, and maybe my answers weren't as confident or as quick as I usually am when I'm traveling across the border, right? And if you want to see the front of my face Instagram, please come to YouTube. Otherwise, you're just going to see the beautiful side of my face and my in-ear monitors. So he sends me into the room. I don't even know what they call the room. It's not a detention room, but it's pretty much a room where you go and you wait, the waiting room. I've been in this room before. The first time I tried to go to Americana Fest, I might tell that story, but it's a very long story. I was detained at that point, flying in. But this time I'm driving. They bring me into the room. They ask me a bunch of questions, and I tell them this is what I'm doing. And he says, the guy says to me, he was a really nice guy though. He's like, I'm not going to let you travel for those purposes. That's not essential, not for that conference. So he turns me away, and I have a really nice lady who's escorting me back to the Canadian side, right? But while they're escorting me back, I call Ashatan right away. I say, hey, what the heck happened? I don't know why they turned me back. We should be able to go. She does her work and she goes online. She finds all the .gov stuff, sends me everything I need to know, and says they should have let you in on a B1 visa. The .gov website, the US.gov website says you're allowed to do this work. And we're like, okay. So when I get to the Canadian border, right, patrol, he's thinking I'm coming back home from a trip. And I say, look, they just turned me away, and I want to go back. And he kind of giggles and laughs. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, they were supposed to let me in on a B1 visa. I have this document, this document, this document. This is what I'm doing. It's non-paid, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you could try it, I guess. And then he's like, just don't exit that way. Just turn right away and then go back to the U.S. border. So I go back, and the guy at the U.S. Border Patrol, he's laughing at me saying, I've never seen anybody do this before. And you're probably not going to get in. Right? But it's worth a try. You're not going to get arrested. Go ahead. Right? So I go ahead in, and this lady's there, and she was very helpful. She was trying to help me out, trying to find a way for me to enter the U.S., even though there should have been no trying to find a way. I should have just been given a B1 visa, boom, boom, go. Right? And hey, I loved your tour music. Thank you so much. I'm looking at some Instagram comments. I don't want to ignore them. Hey, from Brazil, how you doing? All right. So if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, please join us all on YouTube. So many platforms. Because I want to build my YouTube presence. I'm going to do these on all platforms just to give people the opportunity to see me on every platform from now on. But YouTube is going to be the final place where I'm trying to bring all the fans that want to see me, myself, and I's to, because it helps me build a production. Right now, I'm still in beta stage of this. Anyhow, so I go back, talk to this lady, and I want to be honest. The Border Patrol, they're smug. They think they know everything, but they were very nice and friendly to me. I'll tell you that much. They didn't treat me with any disrespect or with any dismissiveness, right? So what they establish at that point is they say, you are allowed to travel for work, this kind of work. You know what I mean? However, we're not going to give you a B1 visa because of your status, because you are not an amateur musician. You're pretty well recognized. You need a P2 visa. Now, I should have said, the first time I tried to go through, he said, if I fly, I'll be fine, but I'm just not letting you travel by land. That's what he said to me. So he didn't have a problem with me traveling. He just said you can't travel by land. The next time I come through, he says, you can travel by land, but I'm not going to give you the B1 visa, right? So it is what it is. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? Uh, I should have sang a song for that. Yeah, that would have worked. No, they would have said, "You're too professional. This sounds better than the busker that we." Anyways, so I see a bunch of stuff on Instagram. Anyhow, so how does it look like on Twitter?
It looks really good.
All right, whatever. How you doing, Twitter? Um, I stay off Twitter because Twitter is so divisive. I can't do it sometimes. Twitter brings my mood down. Anyhow, so I'm like, I call my wife and I say they turn me back again. I'm probably one of the only people, probably one of the only musicians to get back, to get what do you call it? Kicked, to get turned back twice in less than 2 hours. But I was in there for over an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, explaining myself to these people, and they still turn me back. So there's a moral to this story, and I was gonna go on live the day that this happened and talk to you guys about this, but I said to myself, let me process this information, let me figure out what's going on, and then I want to have some kind of like moral to this story. So when I tell it to you, it's not just me complaining about what happened. I don't like people just go online and complain about stuff. So I wanted to give you some kind of moral. Please, the more comments in the comment section, the better. There's certain people who just like people just spam the comments. I think that's lame. But please say anything. I'll share your comment. The comments help my fans see it. So please. I love your music. I stumbled across your music on Spotify. I listen to you every day now. Live in Edmonton, Alberta. Love Edmonton, Alberta. So sorry you were turned away at the border. It's not your fault. Laura, yo. What up, Laura? If you're just joining me, what up, good people? You are the good people, and we're going to do good things together in this world. So back to the story. So I'm driving home, and I tell my wife I need gas. I pull over in a town called Tilbury. It's in Chatham, Kent County of Ontario. And I want to support you and your beautiful music. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Did you get in? I did not. Well, let me tell you, right? Yeah, new episode of Border Patrol, right? So I stop in this town, and this is where it gets a little deep, and this is where the moral, and I want you guys to take this in very seriously, right? The moral of the story for me was I got turned away twice in less than 2 hours, let's say, right? 2 hours and a half, let's say. And I stop in Chatham, Kent. I get some gas, and I pull over on the side of a street to eat my food because I haven't eaten all day, right? I expect to get over the border, then get some food. Haven't eaten all day. And what ends up happening is I'm driving around this. I don't even know. I told my wife, I'm just going to relax a little bit. I'm not going to drive right away. I'll come back home soon before dinner time, hopefully, and we'll sort this out. So I'm in Tilbury, and I drive around a little bit, and I'm actually heading to the highway, but instead of going the right route, I turn on the wrong street, and I see this street. It's called Prospect Street. I'm pretty sure street, right? ST? Prospect Street. Now, for those of you who have been following me and who've been paying attention, I appreciate you, and you would already know that my new album coming out is called Prospect. I have pictures. I can't show you the pictures. I wish I could show you the pictures. Love your music from British Columbia. Super supportive. Thank you so much, Gina. And the street was called Prospect. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I park my car. I don't know how many Prospect streets there are in the world, but I land in this city at this time, and I see Prospect Street. Pull over. I take some videos, some pictures. And I'm like, this might be some good B-roll, some good footage for something later down the line, right? And I'm calling my wife. I'm like, wow, I just stumbled across a street called Prospect. That's so cool, right? And I was just like, what's the chances of that? Me just finding a street called Prospect. So I'm on the phone with my wife. We're talking, and I'm driving towards the highway now. And what ends up happening is I see these signs. Sorry, I see these signs on the side of the street. They're these blue signs, and it has these footprints on it. And beside the footprints, it has these stars, right? And you know the type of pictograph kind of looking stars? They're just lines like that, and it looks like the North Star, right? Very simple, just lines, and it looks like a North Star. I'm like, what is this? And I can tell my wife, like, well, have you ever seen these signs before? These blue signs with footprints and a North Star? And she's like, I don't know what that is. So she Googles it. She Googles it, and I see another one, right? Or I'm talking to her, and she Googles it, and she's like, oh, I think they're for the Underground Railroad, right? And so Chatham, Kent, Tilbury, Ontario, Canada, at this very specific space. How you doing, Jose or Jose? I appreciate you and your amazing music. Always puts me at peace. That's so beautiful to hear. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, please join us on YouTube. Sorry, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, please join us on YouTube. You can stay there if you have to stay there, but if you're able to get on YouTube, we want to build this community on YouTube and do this regularly. I usually do it once a week. I might change that to 2 times a week, so to make it more special, make you guys want it more, but we'll see how it goes. So I see Prospect the Street, and then I see these signs, and my wife figures out that they're underground railroad signs. So meaning people who escaped from slavery in the South. I was heading to the South, Tennessee, Nashville. People who escaped slavery in the South, traveled across the U.S. Canada border, Michigan Ontario border, Detroit. I don't know what the border is what the place is in Canada, but Detroit, Niagara is it? I think border. I don't think it's Niagara. And they're coming to Canada to find freedom. And I was like a little bit overwhelmed at that moment, right? Because I was like, whoa. It just kind of all was like, whoa, right? And this is what my album Prospect is about. I've been doing a lot of press, and people have been asking me, what does Prospect mean to you? And I'm going to tell you what the album means to me, and I'm going to tell you why being turned away at the border was almost kind of providence. It was almost kind of meant to be, right? So I want you guys to understand that your life is enfolded in providence, right? Your life is enfolded in protection and covering. So I'm going to tell you this story, and this is all absolutely 100% true, and I hope it means something to you when you hear the moral, I guess, or what I learned from this, right? Finally dragged myself over to YouTube from my Instagram. Instagram's kind of getting lame. No, I'm just joking, Instagram. You guys are awesome. YouTube was where it's at. If you're here and joining me, please like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to my channel so you get all the updates. And I just always got to say, we are the algorithm. The algorithm is not us, right? We control the algorithm. So if you support the artists you love, the algorithm will support the artists you love. That makes sense? Okay, so let's move on. So I'm in Tilbury, not too far from Prospect Street. My album's name's Prospect, which was already mind blowing. Like, how did I just end up here? And then I see these Underground Railroad signs. So I pull over in some cornfield, right? Literally beside a cornfield. And I'm almost crying. Like, I'm almost like, I don't ever cry, right? But for some reason, I'm almost crying because I had this revelation that my wife is sixth generation? Six or five? My wife is sixth generation Canadian. That means her father, a black Canadian, traveled from the U.S. What?
My dad was here.
Well, not her dad, but her great grandparents. Sorry, not her dad. Sorry, her dad was here. Her great grandparents traveled from the U.S. to Canada, escaping slavery. So from the South, where I was heading to Canada, escaping slavery, which means my children are seventh generation Canadian, black Canadians, right? So they traveled from the South, their great grandparents, whatever the number is, traveled from the South, coming to find freedom, following the North Star. You're with me, right? I'm gonna make it all make sense, right? This is what I'm about. This is what my life is about, and this is what I want to put into your lives, because a lot of you guys work 9 to 5 jobs. A lot of you guys have a boss. A lot of you guys work under people, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens when we do this is that we work under their rules and their orders, and they tend to sap out the mystery of life, sap out the mystery of life from us, the mysticalness of life. And I want to put that back into you, even if you work 9 to 5, even if you have bills upon bills to pay. You know what I mean? That is part of my calling. And I'm realizing that more and more now, that part of my calling is, you know what I mean, to bring you guys back into the mystical part of life, because the mystical part of life can lead you to a more fulfilling part of life. You know what I mean? I want to do it in a non-preachy way. I want to do it. I am a Christian. I have a lot of faith in Christ, but I want to do it in an organic and sincere and honest way that is practical towards your life. You follow what I'm saying? I'm reading Brazilian on Instagram. I can't read that. Ashton could read it and she'll translate for me. Okay, so what I realized at that moment is these people were not just traveling from the U.S. South to the North. They're traveling maybe in bare feet, maybe with garbs on that didn't even cover their whole bodies. They were traveling through thickets of forest into winter, right? So I'm in this Kia Solantis that I rented, heading back home, eating good Rice Krispie squares, the healthy kind with beet juice and all that stuff, on my way back home to sleep in a bed with my wife and to see my children and eat dinner. And these people are traveling, and they travel and may have gotten turned back by a log. One simple log that just said, it can't go this way. It doesn't work. They may have, the light, I just realized that light back there kind of looks like an outside, right? They may have gotten turned back because someone got ill. They may have gotten turned back because they were being chased by somebody who wanted to bring them back to their slave masters, bring them back to the government. They may have gotten turned back because of the weather. Who knows why? They may have broken their foot. You know what I mean? The universe was conspiring to bring you to those places. Right. So that time, so I'll say it like that. Let me go back to that comment. I would never in my life of my own volition go to Tilbury, Ontario, Chatham, Kent, to Prospect Street. Never. That would never have happened unless I got turned back by the border. You following me right now? There is a moral to this story. I would have never, ever done that. Right? So my wife was confused a little bit why I wasn't down when I got turned back by the border, because that already happened to me in 2018, I think it was, when I was trying to go to Americana Fest the first time. And God had other plans for me then. I won't tell you that story. You can find it on my Facebook page. It's a very long story. But essentially, the devil was working, and God said, no, you're going. And I signed my first deal from being on that trip. So your plans are your plans are your plans. But sometimes your plans are side railed, derailed, and you got to make new plans, right? You still seeing me on Facebook. But it's okay. Facebook's awesome. If you're on Facebook, I see Facebook comments, I see YouTube comments, I see Instagram comments, don't see Twitter comments. Kanye West, someone said at Kanye West.
Tell him about it.
Tell him about it. So, what's the point I'm trying to make here, right? If you're new to this, if you're on YouTube, please leave a comment, please subscribe, please like, just so that I can keep growing this. I don't really care about that stuff, but it helps the page, right? So I was sitting in the car explaining this to my wife, almost in tears, right? And I realized that like I don't want to diminish what we go through in life, because we're living one of the hardest times ever. Not necessarily that it's physically demanding, but it's psychologically and mentally draining. The world we live in might be the most mentally, psychologically draining that we've ever seen, because of the amount of information we're dealing with, the amount of polarity we're dealing with, the amount of divisiveness we're dealing with, and then this pandemic hits, and then we have to deal with isolation now, right? But I can never even imagine the isolation that my wife's ancestors, my ancestors being from the Caribbean islands, had to go through to get free, right? To travel from the South to the North Star and find freedom, asylum, peace, and sanctity. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here, I'm just like, wow, wow, wow. And why it was a wow, wow, wow is because I just took it as like, there's a part of me that still wasn't going to go to Nashville. I was like, I'm done. I'm not trying to go. I don't want to go anymore. You know what I mean? It took a lot out of me. It's a crazy time. There's a lot of virus spreading. Maybe it's a sign from God that I shouldn't be there, right? But then there's a part of me inside of me saying, if they got turned back, they're still going to seek their freedom. They're still their purpose. So I looked at it as like, look, man, you are walking in your purpose. Don't ever stop. Don't ever be discouraged. No border patrol agent can stop you from walking in your purpose. You've been here before. You've been turned back before. And all that they tried to do to turn you back, at the end of it all, they said, you're still welcome to come to our country, perform your music, sign your first deal. They couldn't stop that. No matter what, they couldn't stop that, because I knew what my calling was, I knew what my purpose was, and I was continuing in it. You following me, right? I hope this is not too heavy, too heady, too preachy. I just hope it makes sense to you guys because it's my true story. But this stuff happens to me in my life regularly. And I feel like I have a responsibility to share these things more. Let me read some of these comments. So it doesn't get crazier, but the weird thing was the word. I wish I could pull this up on. Did I send you that comment? I'll figure. So the next day, my wife is like, I said, I'm like, I don't think I want to go to Nashville anymore. My grandfather was a pastor of a tiny church right across the border in northern Maine. In early days, it was the last stop on the Underground Railroad in Maine. Incredible and humbling. Beautiful, beautiful. See how that's just so beautiful. Her grandfather was a pastor in a tiny church. I don't take that lightly. She's here with me, sharing her story with me, and I think it's all a part of my story. You know what I mean? I'm down with that. Absolutely following you. So your steps, yes, your steps are ordered. Bonnie says, "Amen." How you doing, Bonnie? Amen to that. Goosebumps. God is beautiful. Thank you for sharing your story. A modern day prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a human being, right? So what I would say to you is that so this is where it kind of gets a little weird, right? I hope I could find the my wife was like, "You're going." She didn't say you're going. We were making plans to cancel, but she still wanted me to go. We reached out to Americana Fest. They said, "Hey, speak to our lawyers. Usually, we find that people have like some issues crossing the land, but if you fly, you might not have these issues if you have this paperwork with you." And they really wanted us to be there. And I did this stupid thing on Twitter the other day. It was trending. And God said, "Let there be." Did anybody see this trending on Twitter the other day? I don't even know if I could find it, but I think I sent it to my wife. You know what I mean? And I did it the day before. I don't know. I'm gonna find it now. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. And it was just a joke. So what you do is you type and do this on your phone. If you have a smartphone or a predictive text phone, type "and God said let there be" and then write every middle word until it stops making sense, and it should turn into a sentence, right? And I did it as a joke, right? I don't even know. I never do stuff like that, but I did it as a joke. And do you know if you'll be able to find it? There's so many texts there. What?
Oh, it was right
Oh, I found it. It said, "And God said, let there be an option for the future. If we are not sure, we will have it done by the next day." This is literally my predictive text on my phone. It was supposed to be funny, and I forgot that I did it. And then when I finally decided, okay, we're gonna go to Nashville, I shared the text to my wife. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is hilarious," right? So it was just a funny thing, right? It was just like even in my text messages, or my predictive text Twitter game, it was saying you're going to Nashville. So I made it to Nashville, and I had a beautiful time there. But the moral of the story, if there's a moral of the story, is I got turned away at the border. But even if you get turned away, if you know in your heart you're supposed to be somewhere, you're supposed to be doing something, don't let anything turn you back. Don't let anything stop you. I can weave a story out of anything. You know what I mean? I can talk, talk, talk. But yeah, I'll read it again. It was crazy, right? And God said, and God said, "Let there be an option for the future. If we are not sure, we will have it done by the next day." The next day, I got on the plane. I used my Nexus card. They took a little picture of me. My slip prints out, and it says B1 visa right on the slip. I don't have to talk to anybody yet. And the guy says, "Where are you from? Where's your residency?" I said, "Canada." He says, "Have a good trip." Doesn't ask me any questions. Doesn't grill me. Doesn't do anything. I don't know why I didn't make it. It doesn't, it's not that deep. But like, maybe on that road, that trip, there was an accident waiting to happen in my space. Maybe something bad would have happened, and the heavens, the angels were like, "No, we're not going." Maybe I just needed to regroup and focus. Maybe who knows why that way was blocked for me? Could have been nothing. Could have just been it is what it is. But we were persistent and we made it. We got there. So I think there's a life lesson there somehow. I just untuned my guitar. And I got to Nashville, and I wish you could have saw these crowds out there. These people were just ready for music, and they were super attentive, super listening, and they just listened, and it was just such a beautiful, beautiful audience. Both of my showcases, I did some interviews out there, and I did a listening party at my producer's house, Paul Mayberry's house. I truly understand understand, and I'm a true believer that God is always looking to teach us so we can grow. Absolutely. So I don't like, again, you don't have to be religious to understand what I'm saying. You know, you ever think about someone and then they call you that same day? It's just the point of Prospect and this record that's coming out in November is to show that we are all connected in beautiful ways, that we are all connected to each other in a real way. The good we do is connected, the bad we do is connected. We influence each other, we learn from each other, we follow each other. We're all connected. So I have this idea of prospect. You and I, in this lifetime, we are the prospect. You know what I mean? Prospect is something that we look forward to in the future. It's something that we're building towards in the future. If you imagine if you lived your life like you were the center of eternity. I know it sounds heavy, right? You were the center of the past and the present, the past and the future, sorry, right? You are right at the center of the past and the future. So in one of my songs coming out, can I say this? There's a lyric, back to Oregon. I'll be praying that God sends you back to Oregon. I would love to come back to Oregon. What I'm trying to say is that you haven't heard this song yet. I can't play it for you, but the lyric is the title track of the record Prospect. And the lyric says, I just want to live like someone before my time is counting on me, and walk beneath the wings like someone from another life is looking out for me. And I had this revelation writing the song that, like, what if my ancestors, and this is what I said to my wife when I was at that cornfield, I said to her, what if my ancestors are sitting there in the heavens or wherever they are, just in the graves? I don't know. What if their spirits are like, we need you to fulfill your purpose. We need you to exceed your potential, to live out your potential in this life. Imagine if you saw them on the sidelines rooting for you, like, let's go. All your ancestors just like, let's go. We're rooting for you. Let's go. We'd walk in this life so much different. And imagine if we knew and we lived like, we do know this, but we live like everything we do affects our children's future, right? We know that, but we don't live like that all the time. You know what I mean? So every day I try to put that on myself. My ancestors are rooting for me. My children are counting on me. I'm at the center of the past and the present, all the way spanning to the past, all the way spanning to the future. Sorry, I said present, but I meant future. So it sounds kind of like new agey, and it sounds kind of like what's that book called, The Secret? But it's not a secret. You experience this thing all the time. Danger is another experience like that, where I dreamt this lady, and she ended up being a real lady that I've never met, never knew her story, and the story that I wrote. I could have used the name Evelyn for anything. I could have been like, Evelyn was cooking macaroni and Kraft cheese, and well, I could have said that and never met Evelyn, the woman whose son was lost to senseless gun violence, right? Evelyn, the macaroni. Maybe there's a woman named Evelyn who cooked macaroni and cheese, and I would have met her. Maybe it all happened for this moment. For you to tell this story, you never know. Maybe someone needed to hear it. I believe somebody needed to hear that. And I think the challenge I'm having in my personal life is, how much because someone said in this thing, a modern day prophet. I don't ever want to be viewed as a prophet or anything of that nature. I don't even know what that means, right? I want to be, my name AHI literally means brother. I'm your brother. I'm your kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? My name Akinoa literally means akin of Noah. My whole life is about being brotherly. It's about being compassionate. And I think there's so many people on this planet who exploit positivity, right? Who use messages of goodwill, who use spirituality and exploit people and take advantage of people. And I never want to be someone. I have a deep sense of spirituality. I have a deep connection with God. But I feel like more and more now I need to be fearless with it. You know what I mean? But I just don't ever want to be that guy who's just like peddling spirituality. You know what I mean? And I think that we do that. How you doing? Kung Fu Temi. I love the name. My brethren in Christ. So I have, yeah, my faith is in Christ, and I say that's all. But I have fans that don't believe in God. And I'm not trying to be like, if you don't believe, you can't listen to my music. That's silly. You know, one of the lines in the scripture is that the rain falls on everybody. I want my music to fall on everybody. And if it blesses you in a secular way, then it blesses you in a secular way. If it blesses you in a spiritual way, then it blesses you in a spiritual way. If it helps you make more money, then it helps you make more money. You know what I mean? If it just makes you treat your children better, that is good for me, right? So, but you can't deny your light. I gotta move that. I thought it was gonna be. Let me 1 second, guys. It's a little much.
Are you gonna put it? Okay.
I got the same effect. I think it's a little bit. You can't deny your light. You know what I mean? You can't deny what is put on your heart. And I feel like if you have gifts that are put on your heart and you don't use them, you're going to lose those gifts, right? Eventually. So I hope this makes sense. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. I'm not always going to come on here and just like preach like this, but a lot of people encouraged me to go. I was really ready to be like, I'm not going to Nashville. Forget it. But I'm so glad I went. I learned a lot. I had a great conversations with my producer, Paul Mayberry, who he's a very inspired dude. His beautiful house, like it's a mansion he built on a hill. I wouldn't call that a mansion, but it's a beautiful house. It's not a mansion, but he has a beautiful pool. He let me stay in his pool house, and his pool house is like a house. Like so, I was living okay. You know what I mean? What an awesome soul you have. Thank you, Gina. I'm seeing names, new names. I don't think I've seen Gina Vande Cave. Beautiful name. Taylor Perry. Okay, I'm gonna say this, Taylor. We have a little thing in the house where I always say your name wrong, and I say Tyler Perry, right? And my boy Ashton is always correcting me. It's not Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the guy, the Medea. Um, it's hilarious. But and then there's what was the guy from Rolling Stones? Perry, no, something Perry, the guy from Rolling Stones. Um, uh, thank you, I, for being such a light and inspiration. Can't wait for the new album out in November. Album out in November. So I'm gonna play something. I don't know what I want to play. I had a chant. You guys want to hear me do a song to like an instrumental? Let me drink some tea. I'm gonna do Coldest Fire to the instrumental. Let me know how it sounds, and I'll try it again. If we don't get if you're just joining me on here, please like the video, comment on the video. There's like 17 people in here. I don't see 17 comments. Maybe there's a lot of pretty good comments on here. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're trying to grow this stuff. I have like a good amount of followers on my platforms, but I'm trying to reignite them and say, hey guys, please follow me on YouTube. I want to talk to you more. I want to share my music with you more. This is the best album I've ever created, and I want this I want this me myself and I think to become a thing where I invite guests on and it grows. But we got to grow it together. You know what I mean? It's not something I can just do alone. So I'm gonna play a song. I gotta play a song that is not out. That is out already. So I gotta just find what I'm gonna play here. TV mixes. What? Let me know if you guys can hear that. Can you hear the music? I'll rewind it if you can't hear it. Can you guys hear that good? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. Turn up a little bit. Let's try it. Have I become a lesser man? 'Cause I don't wanna fight nobody's war. They said I'm living on the fence. They don't see the war within my heart. The smile of mine, it hides my rage and my pain. You can almost see these tears are bursting. I've been hiding it so long. This numbness got me hurting. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire, feel it burning, but I'm frozen. I'm in the cold. fire. A lot of reverb, eh? I've always chosen peace, but they're surrounding me on every side. Been carrying the weight of more lifetimes than I've been alive. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire, feel it burning, but I'm frozen. Wanna scream, but I stay quiet. I don't got nobody on my side, and God knows that ain't right. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the cold. I'll be damned if I do, damned if I don't, but I won't be damned at all. We'll be damned if we do, damned if we don't, but we won't be damned, no. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire, feel it burning, but I'm frozen. Wanna scream, but I stay quiet. I don't got nobody on my side, and God knows that ain't right. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire, feel it burning, yeah, but I'm frozen. Wanna scream, but I stay quiet. I don't got nobody on my side, and God knows that ain't right. So come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire. I'm in the coldest fire. Come here, darling, hold me. I'm in the coldest fire. I'm in the coldest fire. I screwed up the ending. Sorry, guys. When I was in the studio, I just kind of ad-libbing, so I didn't remember where I was supposed to. Oh. That's Apple Music glitching. It says on Apple Music, please fix your app. It says this song, which is 3 minutes long, is 4 minutes and 47 seconds. So what happens, it stops, and for some reason it just starts playing it again right from where you heard it start up again. Joe Mercer says, hi, it's been too long since I last caught you. How you doing, Joe? I appreciate it, Suzanne says heartfelt. D. DeVerier says emojis. Allison says, wow. Oh my gosh, crying over here. I appreciate you guys. I'll play something else. I don't know what. I never wash hands. What does that mean? Did I miss that? You gotta explain that. Wash hands. I'm gonna highlight it.
It's important to do.
Yes, wash hands, stay hygienic, be nutritious. That doesn't mean don't get eaten. Eat well, eat good as you can. So, is there any news that I should be? Ooh, my favorite song is coming out in a couple weeks, but before that, I have some stuff. Oh, sorry, man, clapping. Oh, you tried to put an emoji, but the emoji showed wash hands, which is like I noticed the two dots beside it, and he's washing his hands while he's clapping. He's clapping while he's washing his hands. Cold as Fire. If you have not already watched, let me turn this down. If you haven't not already watched the music video with my family, I think we talked about it already. I'm not gonna go into it again, but I don't know if I will be able to top that music video in this album cycle. We're gonna have more music videos hopefully, but in February, I'm coming to where in February? Which city am I coming to? Because I know you're in like several. I know you're in Boston, I believe. I'm pretty sure D's in Boston. I could be wrong.
Northeastern United States.
What?
Northeastern United States.
Have you guys pre-ordered tickets to my shows in February? Phoenix. I'll see you. Are we going to Phoenix? I would love. My body's so small that it takes a long time to get across the whole of the United States. So at some point, if this record does well, I'll be touring the whole USA. So if you want me to come to your city, the best way to get that to happen, if I'm not already billed to come to your city, is to share the music with everybody you can. Do you know what I mean? I'm an independent artist. You know what I mean? Me and my wife fund this record. We funded this record with some help from the Canadian government, with obviously some help from 30 Tigers. But it's a lot of our money into this record, and we got to make sure it's successful. So please, Virginia, I was close. I was gonna say the In my head, I said DMV, but then for some reason, I know I saw you in Boston, right? Um, Pennsylvania. I saw you in Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure I saw you in Boston too. Weren't you at a show in Boston? I must be wrong. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. I've seen you guys at several shows, so don't. Charlotte, thank you, Allison, for tuning in. We're gonna play one more song. I think it's been almost an hour, so let me see what you guys request, and if it's something I feel like I can knock out the park, I'll sing it. So if you have any requests, I never do requests, which is a lie because I always let you guys request stuff. But if you have something, oh, I know what I'm gonna sing. I sing this song a lot, but you know what else got to me, and it connects to the story that I was telling earlier about getting turned away at the border and the North Star, my wife being sixth generation, my children being seventh generation Canadian, Black Canadian specifically. The next day when I was home, I saw Baltimore. I knew it was a B. I knew I was close. Sorry, Baltimore is what I meant to say. My bad. Straight Ahead is a good one. Okay, I'm about to do two songs, right? But then I saw these Haitian refugees trying to cross the U.S. border, right? And that just it was like obviously the politics and the divisiveness came immediately after these images came out. But I could do Straight Ahead before I go. But seeing that was just like, regardless of what your position is on refugees seeking asylum or people crossing the border, as a black man, I saw these images, and the images alone leave an impression on you, right? You see these men on horses with not whips, right? And you see these beautiful black beings being chased by these horses. Imagine my psyche coming back from this seeing Prospect and seeing the North Star Underground Railroad, how that looked to me, right? So that made me start thinking about just my history. I don't know if I wouldn't say I'm privileged. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who want to think that, oh, you're not a slave, so you should be happy. Which is the dumbest thought process in the world. Let me tune up a little bit. You don't have to be going through the worst thing in the world to want better for yourself. You know what I mean? Any woman out there who's in an abusive relationship, you don't have to be a sex trafficked. This video is probably gonna get blocked now by YouTube. Whatever. You don't have to be a sex trafficked person to want better for yourself. The bottom is not where we all have to be like, oh, as long as you're not at the bottom, it's okay. There's better in everything, right? So anybody who says, oh, as long you're not a slave, you didn't go through what your foreparents went through, well, who cares, right? That's like telling a slave saying, you didn't have to be on the boat. Do you know how bad the boats were that your foreparents were on? See how dumb it sounds? Let me read some of these comments before. Yo, Susan has all the requests. No, I'm just joking. Can you play Closer from a Distance? I love that song. So good. I heard it first on your tiny desk. Oh my gosh, this song. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to see you in Virginia. I get it. And in Pennsylvania. Oh, wow. Okay. I have tickets for both shows. Bring some friends. Thank you so much, D. If you don't have tickets, I don't think I ever sold out a tour yet. We will, yeah. My goal is to sell out this tour. Carry me away, my Lord. Bring me to a Take me where the honey flows. Lead me by familiar hand. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Hold me here inside your arms. Tell me that you won't let go. And show me where the blessings are. There is where we'll build our home. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Ooh. Oh, mm, oh, ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Carry me away, my Lord. Bring me to a peaceful land. Y'all sing with me. Take me where the honey flows. Lead me by familiar hands. Come on. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. I don't wanna see war no more, child. I don't wanna see war no more. I don't wanna see tears no more, child. Oh, no tears no more. Let's sing one out. Hold on a second, guys. There it is. I don't wanna see war no more, child. A peaceful land. I don't wanna see tears no more, child. A peaceful land. Tears no more, child, a peaceful land. No tears no more, child, yeah, a peaceful land. A peaceful land. A peaceful land, yeah. A peaceful land. A peaceful land. Amazing. Not me, I'm talking about the comment. I'm homeschooling with my 8-year-old daughter while listening to you, and she's the one that keeps sending the thumbs up. Thank you, daughter. We homeschool our children too. We have 4 of them. I mean, my wife handles a lot of the hands-on activity. I'm more philosophical. So I kind of get impatient sometimes when I'm teaching my children. I'm be honest. My mom's a teacher, my sister's a teacher, my dad used to teach, my godfather is a principal, my aunt is a principal. I have a lot of teachers in my family, but I feel like I teach minds that already grasp concepts really well better. And I think my wife's more patient in teaching them the foundational things, whereas once they have the foundations, I'm better at teaching them life lessons and moral things and deep profound thoughts and visionary stuff. But homeschooling is no joke. If you are out there, let's give a shout out to Bonnie for taking on the incredibly difficult task of homeschooling their children, and all the mothers and fathers who had to homeschool their children for the first time during this pandemic. Let's go. Joe Mercer says, beautiful song, love it, singing, clapping along. Thank you so much. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you, man. Don't stop producing music, no matter how harsh the industry is. Your music has become a staple in my post-construction routine. So let me touch on that. I'm gonna be honest. I think about quitting the music industry a lot. I'm not crying. I think about quitting the music industry a lot. Not because and you guys, comments like that I promise you, anytime I feel like I hate this music industry, I hate the way it operates, I hate the way it smells, I hate the way it looks, I just hate the music industry. I those comments, people say that to me, they stick with me. I believe it or not, those comments stick with me more than my own looking in the mirror and saying, "You got this, keep going." Right? I don't know why, because it makes me feel like I have a responsibility to you guys. I've heard comments like this frequently, but when I say frequently, like every so often, someone comes to me, please don't. I don't know what makes you guys feel like to say to me, "Don't stop." You know what I mean? But it matters, and appreciate it, because we are fighting a fight that is designed for us to fail. Every single one of us. You know what I mean? The world is designed for you to fail. I promise you that. You know what I mean? It sounds harsh, but it's the reality. So in the industry, as an independent artist, when you go on a playlist and you see my song on a playlist, I'm number 2 song on that playlist, there's some label guy saying, how the hell did he get the number 2 spot and not my artist? Some guy who has monetary backing from a big company saying, why is this artist on New Music Friday with this folk song when my artist, Lil Baby X or whatever you want to call him, should be in that spot, right? So it's a battle to get this music out. And that's why I say, you guys, if you like it, share it with as many people as possible. Make new eye fans, not because of me, because of us, right? I think what we have here is special, and I would love to see this grow. It's just the beginning. And when people hear this whole record, they're going to be like, whoa. I really believe that the people who care about music are going to be like, whoa, how is this guy still rocking by himself, doing this with just him and his wife? It's a beautiful record. Anyhow, someone asked for Straight Ahead. Can I handle Straight Ahead? I didn't eat lunch yet. Hold on, one sec, guys. All right, maybe we could try. I haven't played Straight Ahead in forever. Thank you. It seriously is no joke, but so we're talking about homeschooling again. I recommend homeschooling if you can handle it. It's not easy, but you should be home even if your child goes to regular school. You should be homeschooling them to a degree. And so my dad used to make me do math at home, and I hated it. These long ass math multiplication equations. I don't even know if it helped me be better at math, but it helped me think differently. Susan, I clap for parents who are homeschooling their child. I clap, yes. Let me see if I can do this. All right, this is gonna be my last song, okay? Instagram, shut up. My Instagram, shut up. All right, Instagram lost me. My phone doesn't want to stay on that long. Sorry, Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. We cut off. I apologize. Let me say hi to everybody. There is a road. It's paved in swell intentions. And even though it appears to have dimensions, slow down. Many good souls get lost when the fork arrives. There are signs, remember the signs? They might have double meaning. Oh wow. Because they're designed, but there are signs that are designed to only be misleading. Many fall by the wayside, many don't survive. Oh, keep straight ahead. Oh, I with no regrets, yeah. And even though you're off the beaten path, trust your heart and don't look back. Oh, keep straight ahead. Hear this out. Travel light, 'cause all you need is intuition. And leave it all behind. Oh, the shadows lead you to perdition. And kick up the dust and let it fade now to the afterthought. Whoa, I keep straight ahead. Whoa, with no regrets, yeah. And even though you're off the beaten path, homeschooling your children off the beaten path. That's screwed up. Let's do that again. And even though you're off the beaten path, trouble. I can't remember the lyrics though. Trust your heart and don't look back. Whoa, I tried to freestyle, sorry. Keep straight ahead. You know what? You know why I screwed up there? Because I was going to say, even though you're off the beaten path, homeschooling, and I was going to say something about beating your children, but that's not good. Anyhow. Corporal punishment, don't do it. Anyway. Whoa, keep straight ahead, yeah. Oh, with no regrets. And even though you're off beaten path, trust your heart, don't look back. Whoa, keep straight ahead. Straight ahead, straight ahead, yeah. Yeah. So, what's her name? Bonnie. We're gonna send this out to Bonnie. There was a time when people used to make fun of children that were homeschooled, right? I remember with my extended family, they were like, "You're homeschooling your children? How are they gonna be socialized? How are they gonna make sense of the world?" My children are doing great, I'll be honest. They're very social. I can't stop them from saying hi to people walking. Like any person that walks past them on the street, they'll say hi to. I have to teach them how to know who's good people and who's not. Like how to read body language, right? Because some people are very rude. If a child says hi to me, I'm saying hi back to that child. Anyhow, Bonnie. This is for Bonnie. So, ironically, Bonnie's been homeschooling. I don't know how long she's been homeschooling her children, but then the whole world, every person with a child in North America, probably the world, had to homeschool for almost a year, if not longer. And then all of a sudden, my family, my extended family, maybe Bonnie's extended family, are like, "Ooh, you're not so dumb after all, Bonnie. Bonnie, how do you do it? Can we get some tips from you, Bonnie?" So, what? This is so hard, Bonnie. I don't want to put Bonnie on the spot, but straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Bonnie, go straight ahead, right? Straight ahead. Everybody who has children. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. This is our first life. And all you can do is your best, right? Straight ahead. Yeah. Straight ahead. Whoa, straight ahead. Everybody sing that with me, as loud as you can. Whoa, straight ahead. Now it looks like the homeschoolers aren't crazy after that, right? This is not to say homeschooling is better than anything, but I do think that if you teach your children, if you send your children to day school, you have to implement some level of homeschooling so that you have a hand in how they learn, that you can see what their roadblocks are for learning, and you could even relay that to the teacher, even, right? This may not be the last pandemic we experience, right? So Bonnie's gonna start a website called Bonnie at Home, and she's giving you all the tips on how to homeschool, right? Bonnie at Home. I'm sending you the URL. What do you call it? The domain. All right, guys. Hey, what is this name? Run. I can't read that. Hello, Run. That's on Instagram. So, you guys, I've been here for over an hour. Please tell a friend to watch me, myself, and I. So what I did, I'll end here. I tried to like put the me, myself, and I as unlisted because what was ended up happening was my page is still a music page and it was hiding my new music videos. So you can see the me, myself, and I. They're still on my page, but they are unlisted. I'll keep this up for a week or two, and then I'll put it once a new music video comes out. It will go unlisted. So if you want anybody to watch it, it'll be on my page. Grab the link now, share it with them. Oh, it's it's Run Fast Centimeters, cm. But it's spelled RUNFSTCM 104. So are you a track runner? Do you run track? She's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna know when it gets hard. Sorry. Now my page is demonetized because I just sang a corporate a record label song. They will find that little clip and be like, "We own your page now." That's how the music industry works. Crooks, I tell you. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, and you're listening to me right this second, please head over to YouTube and just do me one favor. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, just leave a quick comment, say, hey, I came from Twitter, hey, I came from Facebook, hey, I came from YouTube, Instagram. Just do it real quickly. And what I'll leave with this is what I'll say this all the time. They want you to think the algorithms control how we act. But in reality, we control how the algorithms act. There are people behind all these algorithms, and when you support the artists you appreciate on social media, the algorithm will also support that artist. So please, just share things. Oh, she does have a website. My website will be what not to do while homeschooling. Ah, yes. I need to. I need to. Let's put it up. You better get that paid for right now before someone takes it. What not to do while homeschooling. I can give you some tips on what not to do while homeschooling. Rule number 1: trust your wife. Man out there. Rule number 3: he can't read yet. What's rule number 2? Rule number 2: learn how to count. Right? Anyhow, please, yes, hit a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. A new music video should be coming out. I don't know, hopefully soon, but a new song will be coming out soon. It's my favorite song on the record. I'm not gonna tell you what it's called, but if you haven't seen I yet, until you hear this song, you don't know who I am yet. No, all my music is great, but this song for me is the most moving song. It's the song that made me cry on the record, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. That's in like a couple weeks though, right? And we got to shoot a music video before that happens and get it edited and uploaded. Any last things? If you haven't pre-ordered the record, I got to do all these housekeeping stuff. If you haven't pre-ordered the record, please pre-order it. Go to my link tree, AHI Music, and you'll get all the details that you can pre-order everything there. Until You has crossed 2 million streams on Spotify. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys are amazing. Like I said, it's not just the algorithm, it's the people behind the algorithm and the people behind those numbers. They want us. Shout out to Brazil, all my fans and supporters in Brazil, the good people of Brazil. I'm not gonna call you guys fans anymore. I'm just gonna call you good people. Remember that. So we gotta remind this community we're building slowly. You guys are the good people. We are called good people. It's an easy way for me to just identify you without creating some stupid the eye lights are the eyeliners or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Some stupid Taylor Swifty thing. I love Taylor Swift. She's awesome. No disrespect to Taylor Swift. She might get my page taken down. She's powerful in this industry, right? But you got the good people. That's good. We already agreed on this, but there's new people coming in. So I got a lot of good people in the world. People in Brazil, people in Sweden. We had someone from Sweden today. Was it Sweden? Everywhere. Like we got ladies from Lithuania. I think she was from Lithuania. A lot of supporters all over the world. Oh, speaking of all over the world, Germany. My song has broken the top 100 pop charts in Germany, which is a big deal. Not just the top, like, not a chart like a AAA, like folk Americana chart. This is like the pop charts where like Ed Sheeran's number one and I'm 96 or something like that, right?
90 now, I think.
90. We've moved up to 90. So we're moving up the German radio charts, pop radio charts for my song Danger. Netherlands. Shout out to the Netherlands. I was in the Netherlands not too long ago with my family. It was a beautiful place. One of my favorite places in the world, actually, because it's so chill, especially compared to London, UK. Love London, UK. So we are on we are on the German radio charts, which is amazing. And they said to me, my radio guy in Germany said, we have artists on major labels who don't see this kind of success with their songs. So he's very wowed and like surprised that like this dude from Canada with a song about gun violence is the Danger's not about gun violence. That's what you let him know. Danger's about mothers and people, right? So that's good news. So and this stuff wouldn't happen if people didn't listen to it. So let's just keep doing that. Let's just keep supporting artists that you care about. If you care about my music, and I'm only saying this because if you care about my music, I appreciate that. So yeah, we're going. And who said it? I'm gonna end on this comment because I always need to hear stuff like this. Michael, I'm gonna try to say his last name. It could be Vivorowski, right? Vivorowski, you think so? Oh, because the W is the V, right? Huh?
Yorsky?
Vivorowski. It is. Michael, thank you. Anyhow, guys, that is it. I'm gonna eat some lunch and I'm gonna do some work. I appreciate you guys so much, and stay tuned for the next. Me, myself, and I will be next Thursday. I think I'm around next Thursday. So please on YouTube we'll be here. We'll be across all platforms. My preferred place to speak with you guys is obviously on YouTube. But Brazil, shout out to Brazil. I can't wait to go to Brazil. Obrigado. Stay good. God bless. All right. I can never end this stream.